What's going on, everyone? In today's video, I'll be discussing my personal story on how I saved $20,000 as a student. I'll be talking about the 4 key tips that I used to help achieve this goal and how you can use these strategies to improve your financial position, your spending habits, and overall how good you are with the money that you have. Make sure to stick around to the end because the last tip was by far the most beneficial and a real game changer for me in terms of improving my finances. Saving more money and having more money in general is something applicable to most people. The majority of people want to have a better financial position for themselves so that they can do the things that they want and not have to worry about the stress that money can place on their lives. Improving my financial position is something very near and dear to my heart, and it's a goal that I've been working towards over the past few years. In this video, I'll be sharing a few consistent and reliable steps that I've used to achieve this goal, and I'll be sharing how you can use these steps to help replicate some of the success that I've had and improve your own finances, spending habits, and overall savings. Now, for me personally, I only really started having a plan with how I was spending my money over the past 2 years. I wasn't really conscious of where it was going or what I was doing with it before that. I always tried to be quite frugal with my money, so not spending a lot on groceries, only buying things on sale, not buying a phone every year, that type of thing. But despite trying to save money where I could, I found that my savings didn't really go up and not much changed. I feel like this is relatable to a lot of people because everyone knows you should save money and you shouldn't spend all your income, but without having some sort of a structure or plan in place, it can be quite hard to actually achieve this goal despite being fully aware that it's something you should be doing. I found that my money saving habits were only brought on during the semester when I didn't have a lot of time to work, and overall the amount of income that I had available to spend was quite low. But as soon as the holidays came around and I was able to work full time and I had more money, I'd automatically start spending more money as a result. The first piece of financial advice that I have, and a problem that I encountered myself, is spending more money because I had more money. This is relevant for everyone, regardless of how much money you make in a week, what your salary is, what kind of job you have, because if you spend more money because you have more funds available, you will always feel as though you're not making progress. For example, if someone earns 50k a year and they spend 30 grand of it, they get a pay rise that puts them from 50,000 to 70,000. In theory, you'll have more money available to save and you can improve your finances. However, what people will do, they will just mirror this $20,000 increase in salary with a, again, $20,000 increase in spending. So at the end of the day, what really counts is not how much money you make, but how much money you save. If you spend almost all of your income and don't save anything, it's irrelevant how much money you make if you can't hold on to any of it. This idea of spending more because you have more to spend can be related to something called lifestyle creep. As an example of this, if someone has a car that costs, say, $5,000 and they go to a restaurant where they pay $30 for a meal, this activity for them might be enjoyable. But over time, if they have more money available, they might think to themselves, oh, I'll get a nicer car, I'll go to a better restaurant, I'll spend more money on these things. And then now once something that was special to them, going out to get that meal with their $5,000 car to that restaurant, is now obsolete because they might have bought a new car for $10,000 or $15,000 and they go to a fancier place and this is what they find enjoyable. This can be relevant for anything. It can be buying a phone or a laptop when a new one comes out every year, and getting a bigger house, getting a greater mortgage, or buying new clothes all the time or new shoes. It can be related to anything where you can spend your money on and you can gradually spend more and more on something. And at one point in time it was special, and then as you spend more and see what the more expensive version thing, that previous item becomes obsolete and your new normal keeps on going higher and higher. The second piece of financial advice that I have is related towards having a goal. What do you want to do with your money in the long term? Is it getting a deposit for a house, paying off credit card debt, saving up to go traveling overseas? If you have some sort of a goal, it can be easier for you to be more responsible with the income that you have. Without a goal, it can be easy to only think about your money in the short term. For example, once you've paid your rent, bought food, put gas in your car, all the essentials have been paid for, you can think, oh, I don't need to hold on to any of the money that I have, I can just spend it because I've bought the things that I really need. but if you have something to work towards in the long term. For me personally, once I reached a certain threshold with my savings, I didn't care about any of the excess money that came in. So if I had $1,000 in my savings account, anything over that $1,000 I would just spend, because I had no long-term goal. Something like saving up for a house seemed like such an unrealistic expectation, and there wasn't really anything else long-term I could use to motivate myself. I think for a lot of people, a goal to work towards is to pay off any debt that you have in terms of credit card, buying things on finance, that type of thing. Especially with credit cards, the interest rates can be from 10 to 20%. So regardless of how much money you make or how much you save, there will always be a loss of income because you're holding on to this bad debt that's constantly eating away at your weekly paycheck. As a result of paying off this type of debt, you can automatically start saving money because you're not losing income on that interest payment. And also it teaches good financial responsibility to pay off debt and not put yourself in a position where you're constantly paying interest on money that you borrowed. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content, and make sure to click part 2 of the video that I'll leave linked on the screen.